So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our Trading Every Player rebuild series. Today it's going to be the Clippers. Now I want to start this out by saying that the Clippers deserve a ton of credit for the way that they've played this season. I was not super high on them going into this season. I think I had them projected outside the plan. I was very likely wrong, and they deserve a ton of credit for the way they have played. They've created a defensive identity that is really, really impressive, and I do think that they will now be in the playoffs. Now, that all being said, unfortunately today, we're not going to get to use any of the talent that is currently on this Clippers team. Of course, the way these videos work, if you are not aware that we trade every single player on this roster before year one kicks off. Of course, at no point may any of these current Clippers come back to this team, and the end goal is to get this group a championship. We're on a very similar pace right now with our Curry era rebuilds and the Trading Every Player rebuilds. There are 6 of these left after this one, kind of similar to the Curry era rebuilds. And I'm looking for different series you guys want to see right now. So, I know this is always a strange time of year because we're obviously well into the NBA season at this point, and we're not quite yet into the off-season rebuilds, but we're obviously still looking for content. So anything you guys are really looking to see, make sure to let me know down below in the comment section. Always appreciative of all the ideas that you guys give me. So I'm excited for this one today. This is certainly one of the more talented rosters we have left in this series, so hopefully we can get some pretty good returns. Let's get into it. I'm not going to give you a whole speech about this current roster and how I think they've really kind of carved out a really solid defensive identity, but what we are going to do is just go ahead and do a quick overview, because I think what jumps out at me immediately is that there's a few guys here that I can move their positions and their overalls will probably go up. Maybe not drastically, but 1 or 2 points certainly wouldn't hurt in the trade finder machine. So I'm going to start out with Kawhi. He goes up to an 93. Harden goes up to an 87, and then Derek Jones Jr. is an 81. So those were the 3 that were most notable to me. I think Terrence Mann, yeah, he's also 1. So that's 4 guys who we just moved, all of which saw at least a 1-point overall increase. It doesn't really affect things too much, but maybe we get a little lucky in the trade finder. So we will start out with Kawhi, who, of course, at this point, his career is always going to be battling some sort of injury. I think the way that the Clippers probably want to play it this season is kind of be as careful as you can with him while still making the playoffs, because of course you want him healthy for the playoffs. So we have 8 trade offers for Kawhi. It's not necessarily as many as I would have hoped, but it's certainly enough to the point where we can kind of take a look and hopefully find ourselves a trade. By no means are we going to get a player as good as Kawhi in return. So we're going to close the eyes as we always do. We have no say in which one of these trades we are going to accept, and we will stop scrolling randomly right about now. It is going to give me, wow, that's actually not too bad. I will 1,000. Cade would have been super fun as well, just because I really never get him. That would have sucked. I will 1,000% take LaMelo Ball. So it's going to be Kawhi and Nicholas Batum heading to Charlotte for LaMelo Ball and Grant Williams. Really good start here today, again, considering the times that I trade stars in these rebuilds, at least the majority of them, I end up with pretty much nothing in terms of real value in return. So James Harden's up next. He has been unbelievably great for the Los Angeles Clippers this season. Ton of credit to that front office getting the deal done. Probably going to opt out of his player option next offseason, but they'll likely be looking to bring him back here. So I didn't see exactly how many offers we had. Hopefully we got ourselves a good one right about now. It's going to be Miles Turner and Aaron Nesmith from the Indiana Pacers. All right, I wouldn't say Miles Turner is really anywhere near James Harden just in terms of talent, but again, I will take this return considering what some of these other offers probably looked like. Like, really? A lot of these are just absolutely awful. The amount of times I have gotten like the Dennis Schroeder, Draymond Green package in these videos, this would have sucked. Like, there's a lot of bad trades out there. So quite honestly, I'll live with a Miles Turner and Aaron Nesmith package. Amir Coffey also going to be in this deal here with James Harden. So I'd say we're 2 for 2. We didn't get, I wouldn't say we didn't get bad players in return, but we got about as good as we were going to get, given the way these videos kind of have to go. Talk about an unbelievable season. Norman Powell has been fantastic so far. I really like the fit of Derek Jones Jr. as well. They're going to be the 2 next players that are up in the trade finder. I believe I saw 13 offers for these 2. Hopefully get some quality role players in return, and we will stop. It's going to be Jeremy Sohan and Keldon Johnson here from the San Antonio Spurs. Certainly not the best trade package out there. And again, I'll stop going through all these, but I could have got Şengün, god damn it. But I can live with it. It's actually probably one of the worst ones that was in that trade finder, but it is what it is. We can't get lucky all the time. Zubac is going to be up next, roughly 11, 12-ish million bucks. If we combine him with maybe a guy like Chris Dunn, going 2 at a time now just seems to make it go just a little bit quicker. So Zubac going to be a pretty valuable trading piece for somebody, because I think there were a decent amount of offers here for him. What we're going to do, we're going to stop right now. We're not going to accept this trade. We're actually going to go one to the left. There's going to be Robert Williams and Toumani Camara from the Portland Trailblazers, or it would have been TJD and Draymond. Oh my God, thank the Lord. I was not looking to trade for Draymond Green again. I get him in way too many of these videos. Of course, I don't really have a say in many of the moves, but I was not looking to do that. All right, Terrence Mann will do him and Kevin Porter Jr. up next. 2 role players here, hoping to get some nice quality role players in return. I believe I saw 19 offers on the table, and we're going to be accepting a deal from the Toronto Raptors here. Chaya Bajie, Chris Boucher coming over here to Los Angeles. We are sending out a first-round pick swap in this next year's draft, which is not my favorite thing in the world to do because I'm sure many of you are aware the Clippers are not exactly loaded with future draft assets. All right, making our way to the bottom of this list right now. Next up is going to be Bones Highland. It's going to be him, and we'll do Mo Bamba next, right? We don't trade the two-way players, of course. Actually, who's after PJ Tucker? Oh, there's still a few players to go. All right, Highland and Mo Bamba are going to be up here. 15 trade offers for the pair right here. And I'm just looking for depth at this point. It's all I'm really asking for. Stop. Gonna be Nick Wow, that's actually a pretty impressive trade. Now, I get Tyus Jones a lot, and obviously a lot of it is by luck. I don't know why he's always on Phoenix's trade, package list, but he's going to be gone after a season. It's just the way it works. We don't have bird rights on him, but Nick Richards on a multi-year deal, I will certainly take that. Again, not giving up any draft capital is really kind of big in those moves right there. So PJ Tucker, who probably should be traded anyways, I don't really know who would want him. Him and Kobe Brown are going to be the final 2 we move here today. Only 4 offers, not the end of the world. Final trade is going to come with Give me the Lakers. Shake Milton. Oh, that Gabe Vincent contract sucks. Okay. I believe that everybody that started out this video as a Los Angeles Clipper is no longer with this team. As I've mentioned, it is, as I'm sure many of you are aware, we do not trade away the two-way players, which is why Flowers, Jones, and Miller are all still here, but they will not be in the rotation, obviously. So, yep, at this point, we are not allowed to make any other trades until that first offseason hits, so we are certainly going to have to move around some positions, and I'll see you guys in the rotation. It is year 1 for us here in Los Angeles. We ended up making some pretty tough decisions, and the real tough decisions were the fact that we have so much front court depth, it's almost not even funny. We have like 76 overalls not even seeing the floor for us in this rotation. So, I mean, it's kind of what you give and what you get in these videos, right? I really don't have any say what it's going to look like, and as you can see, the starting 5 maybe a little out of the ordinary. So Tyus Jones will start at the point guard spot. It's only going to be for 1 season because we are almost 100% going to lose him in free agency, but he's going to be there because the other point guard options, of course LaMelo is there, are not super great, and LaMelo Ball is playing the shooting guard spot strictly because of his size, his frame, all those things. I know he's a point guard. He's a great facilitator of the basketball. He's going to be back at the point guard spot likely after 1 season. You will see why he is playing shooting guard in just a second. Kelton Johnson will be starting here at the 3, Sohan at the 4, and then Turner at the 5. I don't know if there's any major surprises there. Now, Robert Williams will be my 6th man off the bench. Maybe not a traditional 6th man, if you will, but he is our highest overall, and there's not really anybody else I love in that 6-man spot. You got Chris Boucher behind him playing the backup 4. Aaron Nesmith, I actually moved to the backup 2, so he saw a 1 overall decrease. Again, we're hoping this is only for 1 season, but it kind of just is what it is, given the way this roster is constructed. Tumani Kamara is playing the backup 3, and then finally Shake Milton, who is the backup point guard. So Nick Richards out of the rotation. I don't run, 3 positions anywhere. It just kind of is what it is. Gabe Vincent out of the rotation, Grant Williams, Jordan Miller's obviously a 2-way. Chaya Bajie, I mean, it's just kind of how things shook out today. And yeah, it'll look very different next season, but honestly, I think this team can be competitive. Are we going to be a true contender? I don't know if I'd go that far, but I think a lot of things could happen here. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. Year 1 was okay. Was not anything special. 47-35 is the final record. I think we definitely have a direction this offseason. We have a lot of multi-year contracts, which I think will be very beneficial for us. So first season is in the books. SGA, 39.5 points a game throughout an 82-game season. He's your MVP. Jared McCain, Rookie of the Year. Russell Westbrook is your 6th man. Wemby is your depoy, also wins Most Improved. I'm not going to go on a tangent right now, but again, we need to redefine what the word Most Improved player means because, the number 1 overall pick that's a, clear generational talent probably shouldn't qualify. Paolo Banchero, Clutch Player of the Year, and 69-13 there in Dallas gives Jason Kidd a Coach of the Year. All right, here are the standings. We are in the play-in, so we'll be battling with San Antonio here. Wait a minute. Wait, what? Okay, no, this shouldn't it be PI? You know what? Who cares? This game's broken. And then here is a look at the what I would consider dreadful Eastern Conference. Over here in the numbers department, LaMelo, he was absolutely fantastic. About 26 points a game, 4.5 boards, 8 assists, especially at our shooting guard spot. Impressive. Miles Turner was actually our 2nd leading scorer. Then it was Keldon Johnson, I almost said Trey Jones, Tyus Jones, Sohan Nesmith, Rob Will, Boucher, Milton, and then Kamara. boards, going to be led by Turner, and assists was obviously LaMelo. Okay, so it is the Spurs. They just didn't list them as a play-in team for God knows what reason. We traded Norman Powell. Did we trade Norman? Oh, no, we got Sohan in return. We did trade Powell there. So if we win this, we are going to be the 7 seed. If we lose this, we'll be battling for the 8 seed against the winner of the Lakers and the Grizzlies. So here goes nothing. We end up winning. We are the 7 seed here. It is going to be us and the Minnesota Timberwolves here in round 1. You know, this team has obviously not had the greatest start to a season so far, but here in this world, they are a 2 seed and they are really, really good. Western Conference Finals appearance last year, probably the better team. We're down 3-0 right now. We end up winning game 4, and then we get bounced in 5. Not really sure if I was expecting much more than that here in year 1. You know, I think there's a lot of work to do, but I think we got a really good start right now. Karl-Anthony Towns, your Finals MVP. All right, off-season number 1. Of course, we have the freedom to do pretty much whatever we want at this point outside of bringing back anybody who started out this video as a Laker. And we will, of course, be taking advantage of that right now because I can certainly cook up some different trades. So it is the lottery. Wow, the Sixers ended up with the 2nd overall pick. I don't know if we have any picks. We'll check in a second. Ty Lue's done a great job with this team this season. I think he's a really good head coach. He's, of course, going to be staying on. As we approach the 2025 draft, we have nothing, and we have 2 future picks as tradable assets right now. So I'm not going to trade into the draft. That doesn't really feel like the smartest decision. Sohan and Abaje are both going to be brought back. We are definitely going to have some free agents. Both these two-way players will not be qualified as, of course, they are not eligible to be brought back here. So Miles Turner is my first and, of course, biggest free agent. Has an offer from the Nets right now for, what is that, like 27, 28 million annually. I'm not letting him go. Neither am I Boucher. So, yeah, let's just pay Turner. You know, 30 million annually is not cheap, but I can't lose him. So let's just do that. Thank you very much. And then, yeah, we knew we were going to lose Tyus Jones. Kind of just is what it is. It's unfortunate, but it's the way these videos kind of go most of the time. So that is 2 players brought back, which I think is super important. We, of course, really didn't have money to spend elsewhere. So at this point, we are going to be looking for some deals on the trade market. Pretty interesting trade we're making here with the Sacramento Kings. Now, we are sending out some pretty decent depth. I will add 2 of these players weren't actually in our rotation last year, but they could still be valuable assets to our team. We're moving off of them. Robert Williams, Grant Williams, and Achai Abaje all going to Sacramento. In return, we're landing ourselves Malik Monk and Keegan Murray. So Malik Monk's going to start at the 2-guard spot for us. I'm not exactly sure where Keegan's going to be playing, whether it's the starting power forward or the backup. He will certainly be in the rotation, but that is another decision we have to make. But considering we didn't give up a single draft pick and maybe just got 2 starters, I think it's a pretty good trade. Up next is a blockbuster with the defending champs, Jeremy Sohan, Keldon Johnson, and Gabe Vincent. Good God. All going to New York for Mikal Bridges and Mitchell Robinson here in return. So both of these players are expiring, and they have both, of course, are slowly approaching 30 years old, but they are quality NBA players. They are desperately players we need, and I think they're going to be really big benefits and big additions to this team. So Bridges is going to slide into the starting small forward spot. Robinson will go ahead and back up Turner, and that is another deal that we got that I think is going to be really impactful without giving up a single first-round pick. This trade here with the Minnesota Timberwolves may not look great on paper, but I have a logic and an explanation, at least in my head, for why we are making it. Now, Nick Richards certainly could have been impactful for us. I thought he was going to be when we originally got him at the start of year 1. Unfortunately, we have 2 centers now in Miles Turner and Mitchell Robinson that I would consider better than him and that are definitely going to be number 1 and number 2. So he's not only going to be traded, he's also an expiring contract. So I think that helps a little bit. And Shake Milton, we're just looking for an upgrade here, which of course is going to be provided by the Timberwolves here in a deal that lands us Dante DiVincenzo, who is not only a multi-year deal, but it also gets us a first-round draft pick, which we are desperately looking for because we don't have a lot of them. So I think we finalized our 10-man rotation. As I mentioned, I wanted to move LaMelo back to the point guard spot. Him and Dante are here. It's going to be Monk, and I'm going to keep Nesmith at the 2. Maybe not his natural position, but I think for at least 1 more year, it should be fine. Going to be Bridges, who, of course, we just added from New York, him and Tumani Kamara. Chris Boucher and Keegan Murray. I will be starting Keegan Murray entering year 2. Boucher, who likely will see a bit of regression, will be coming off the bench. And then finally, Miles Turner and Mitchell Robinson. So, you know, I think we had a really successful offseason. I wouldn't say we landed a superstar or anything like that, but we also didn't give up a single draft pick. So, kind of felt like we did a really good job at that, but who knows? Sometimes these things go my way, sometimes they don't. So, I'll just see you guys at the rotation at the start of year 2. All right, it is our 2nd season here in Los Angeles. We have obviously made a lot of changes, and I think those changes are going to be really beneficial. LaMelo moving back to his natural position at the point guard spot feels like a really good fit for me. Now, Malik Monk, I'd like somebody to explain to me why he just went down 2 overalls. Man's 27 years old and came off one of, if not the best season of his career. So, shout out to 2K. Heck of a logic they have. Mikal Bridges here at our starting small forward spot. Was hoping Keegan Murray would maybe go up a few overalls. It's in a an interesting career so far for Keegan. And then we obviously brought back Miles Turner. Now, the bench unit is going to see Aaron Nesmith take over six-man responsibilities. While he's not the highest overall off the bench, I think it does make a kind of more natural fit to have a guy who's pretty solid defensively and can, of course, score the basketball. Here's our six-man. You got Mitchell Robinson behind him, Chris Boucher, who we brought back on a multi-year deal, Tumani Kamara, and then finally Dante DiVincenzo. So, again, I don't necessarily know if we're like top of the top West contenders, but I think we are a better team than we were a season ago, and I think that this is a group that is definitely going to have a little bit of success anyway. So I will see you guys at the end of year 2. Year over year, we see ourselves have a 6-game improvement, now up to 53-29 here as the second season in Los Angeles has come to an end. Moving in the right direction, all I can really ask for. Again, I didn't think this was a 60-plus win team. It felt like we were good, maybe not great. We'll find out in the playoffs, though. Luka Doncic, he's your MVP. Cooper Flagg's in Washington. He's your Rookie of the Year. Ace Bailey's coming off the bench in Charlotte. He takes home Sixth Man of the Year. Victor Wembanyama wins yet another DPOY. Got Scoot Henderson winning Most Improved. Paolo Banchero, Clutch Player of the Year. And Jason Kidd has officially won back-to-back Coaches of the Year. So, it is time to see the standings. I'm not sure where we are. Oh, wow, we're the 2 seed. All right, maybe the Western Conference has fallen off a bit, if you will, but no, we're the 2 seed pretty comfortably at that. And then here's a look at the East. Let's go over some of the stats real quick for this team. Melo Ball once again leading this team in scoring. You got Mikal Bridges, Malik Monk, Miles Turner, Keegan Murray, Nesmith, DiVincenzo, Boucher, Kamara, and then Robinson. Rebounds led by Turner, and assists was LaMelo. So we are facing a play-in team. Was not necessarily expecting that, but it's the reality of our situation. And it is Steph Curry in this same core that has really stayed intact for, I can't really think of a good reason, for way too long. So, wasting Steph's final years. I don't want to be the guy that beats him because I really do love Steph, but it is what it is. We're up 3-0. They do take home game 4, and we win in 5. Moving on to the West Semis. The team that beat us last year in round 1, that being the Minnesota Timberwolves, are our matchup here in the West Semis. Dillingham now into the starting 5. You got Malcolm Brogdon coming off the bench as a 6-man. Oh, I forgot we traded Nick Richards over to Minnesota. So, maybe he's out for a little revenge. Split the first 2 at home, win game 3 on the road. Also win game 4. They take home game 5 and game 6, and we lose 3 straight games, blow a 3-1 lead. All right, that's disappointing. I didn't think that we were, Western Conference Finals material here. Maybe not quite yet in year 2 anyways, but to blow a 3-1 lead is disgraceful. So there will be changes this offseason. You got the Pistons winning it all, and Cade Cunningham, Finals MVP. Hey, we were close to getting Cade in that the beginning of that year 1. Okay, it is time for offseason number 2, which is the final offseason. Of course, we will have some moves to make. I'm not going to completely blow this team up. I don't want anybody to think that, but I think a move or 2 would not necessarily kill us. Staff signings, I'm going to hang on to Ty Lue. I stand by what I said. I think he's a good NBA head coach, and he will be staying on as we enter year 3. So, draft time. We have the 23rd overall pick from Minnesota. Whether this player is in the rotation at the bottom of it or they are traded is fine by me. This is a boozer, right? Yeah, no, obviously it's a boozer, but because there's another boozer in this draft class as well. You know what? I'm just going to draft him. We're just going to stop asking questions. Welcome to the team. Caden Boozer is going to be a 73 overall. Team player options, we have none. I know for a fact we have some free agents starting out first and foremost with Keegan Murray. And then on top of that, it is Mikal Bridges, who has 8 offers, and then Mitchell Robinson as well. So fortunately for us, none of these offers are really anything significant, at least to Mikal Bridges. So we'll just pay him, and we'll likely do the same here with Mitchell Robinson. So we get all 3 of those players back. We are not losing anybody that was in the rotation, which is, of course, really important. And it is now time to get into some bigger trades. Oh, wow. I did not think the Minnesota Timberwolves would accept that. All right, well, we have pulled off yet another deal with Minnesota, sending out Malik Monk, Dante DiVincenzo, and 2 future first-round picks, and in return landing ourselves Julius Randle. I understand that leaves a gaping hole at our shooting guard spot, and I certainly will address that, but I think getting an upgrade at our power forward spot wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And again, we understand how 2K is with their bullshit. I'm assuming Malik Monk probably would have continued to regress. For what reason, I'm not really sure, but that's on 2K. So Keegan Murray is just going to come off the bench in all likelihood. Again, maybe could consider a move for him. This is an unrealistic rebuild, so if I wanted to just sign and trade him, I could. But I definitely need to figure out something here at our shooting guard spot. Oh, wow, the Lakers took that. Okay, again, sorry, I should have spoke. I just didn't think it was going through. All right, Chris Boucher, Caden Boozer, and the one first-round draft pick we had remaining were sent to the Los Angeles Lakers, a rare LA to LA trade, and we landed ourselves our new starting shooting guard. So I know this is a risk. I understand that Dalton Connect is, maybe not a starting shooting guard. Actually, his numbers have been fantastic. Fuck that. Maybe he is a starting shooting guard on a championship team. But we were pretty limited in the moves we actually had financial flexibility to make because I was doing my best to hold off from trading either Keegan Murray or Aaron Nesmith. I think they're both valuable pieces to this team, which obviously, limited us to a guy like Dalton Connect, who's actually been really good, and I'm surprised the Lakers were willing to part with him so easily. So he'll take over the starting shooting guard spot. Everybody else is pretty much finalized. I do think this is easily our best team yet. One last thing we got to do is sign ourselves a backup point guard, and, well, D'Angelo Russell's chilling here. I didn't think we'd have D'Lo money, but we do. So, yeah, I guess I'll bring in D'Lo. It's not exactly perfect, but it'll do. Okay, I will just see you guys at the start of the third and final regular season. I think it's safe to say that this is easily our best team yet. While we only really have one player that I would consider, a star/superstar, whatever category you want to put LaMelo Ball in, I think not only do we have a lot of quality depth, but we have a lot of players that are kind of in that middle tier. Not quite stars, but maybe a little ahead of the role player department, if you know what I'm saying. So, easily our best team yet. I think this is the group that, if it's going to get done, we'll get it done. LaMelo Ball, Dalton Connect, Mikal Bridges, Julius Randle, Miles Turner is your 1 through 5. Of course, two major changes in that starting 5 with Connect and Randle. Bench unit sees D'Angelo Russell taking over as the 6th man. Got Mitchell Robinson still here, Keegan Murray, Aaron Nesmith, and Tumani Kamara. So, yeah, your guess is as good as mine for what the hell is going on with Keegan Murray here. I know we're maybe not utilizing him the best that we possibly could, but I don't know. I just kind of expected that overall to, not go down, but that is 2K logic at its finest. So this is the team. Hopefully it's the group that can get it done. We have yet to make it even a Western Conference Finals, so I'd certainly like to do that. See you guys at the end of year 3. Year 3 is easily our best season yet, which, typically a pretty good sign. It sees us finish with a record of 70-12. Fantastic. I am very, very happy about that. I mean, just miles and miles better than year 1 and year 2. And hopefully we're in the driver's seat here in the West and the driver's seat to win a championship. Now, Nikola Jokic is back in the MVP department after a brief hiatus for 2 seasons. Cameron Boozer does win rookie. I knew there was not. Wait. No. Wow. I actually realized the Boozers are both now on the... Boozers are now both on the Lakers because we, of course, traded... Was it Cam? No, not Cam. Caleb. I'm losing it. Josh Giddey, your 6th man of the year. Wemby wins his 3rd straight DPOY. Igor Domin is most improved. John Morant, clutch player of the year. And our guy, Mr. Tyronn Lue, is your coach of the year. Okay. 13 games up on Oklahoma City for the best record here in the West. It is 11 games up on Indiana for the best record in basketball. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some numbers real quick. LaMelo Ball leading the charge. Julius Randle has emerged as a really nice second option. D'Angelo Russell should have been in the 6th man of the year conversation. Really good season out of him. Dalton Connect, Mikal Bridges, Turner, Murray, Nesmith, Kamara, and then Robinson. Rebounds, Turner, assists, LaMelo. All right, 1 seed for the first time in this video. It is us and the Portland Trailblazers who, they've made some interesting moves. That's, where's Shaden Sharp? Like, why are you moving on from him? Okay, well, we split the first 2K. No way, right? We're not doing this today, to me. We're not, right? Thank you. I can almost tell it's very, very weird. I can almost tell when a blown 3-1 lead is going to come. I can do it both ways, right? It happens to me all the time. The Minnesota Timberwolves have added Chris Middleton to their team. Also have our old friend Malik Monk. Of course, we traded him or included him in a deal that landed us Julius Randle here. So after a scary first round that was not very good, we sweep Minnesota in round 2, and it is us in Oklahoma City here in the Western Conference Finals. Oh, you're looking and wondering where Shaden Sharp was? Well, there is your answer. Why? AJ Demancil, I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to do about this? And how is this team not like a 65-plus win? You know what? I don't really know. I think we can beat them. I think they easily have the best player in the series, and maybe we're just going to run away with it. We're in the finals. We're taking on the Indiana Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton here. Full look at their team: Halliburton, Nembhard, Mathurin, Siakam, our old friend Robert Williams. I mean, not many major changes. Of course, we have Miles Turner on their team, or on our team, but Indiana didn't really change a bunch. So, I think they're good, no doubt about that. We may be better. We're up 3-0, and we are heading here to Indiana for a potential closeout Game 4 and a sweep on the road of the Pacers. Can we get this done? It is a back-and-forth affair. As, wow, well, that second quarter did not go the Pacers' way. And we're going to be winning a championship here, my friends. Little more than 3 minutes to go here in Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Of course, we are on the verge of sweeping the Pacers out of their own building, which is a fantastic... Oh, I wanted the ball. A fantastic feeling right here. Tyrese Halliburton throwing it down. A battle of two of the elite point guards in the NBA with Halliburton here and LaMelo. So, assuming LaMelo Ball is probably going to get a Finals MVP, I will certainly take it. Give him the business. LaMelo, oh my God. Just crossed Halliburton out of his fucking shoes. All right, at this point, there's not really a lot to talk about. I mean, I don't typically, in this situation, talk about, you know, the actual team I'm rebuilding because, of course, nobody who actually started out the video on this team is here. So, you know, I guess we can kind of just shoot the shit right now. I mean, this is not going to be a super long gameplay just because this one's kind of already over. So, I'm just really hoping that LaMelo Ball... did LaMelo get snubbed for an All-Star game starter? Do you think he did? Him and Cade? I think there's certainly a conversation that can be had. You know, I don't want to discredit Jalen Brunson or Donovan Mitchell because they've both also been fantastic, but I don't know. I think there's, you know, when you look at the numbers, maybe it makes a lot more sense to have LaMelo in there, but I think the All-Star, you know, voters or whoever the hell it technically is that puts these guys into the starting positions here, I think they probably value winning a lot, which, don't get me wrong, a guy like Cade Cunningham has certainly done a lot more of this season than he has in recent years, but when it comes to, like, you know, how much they value that versus how much they really value just the pure numbers. I wish there was like an actual breakdown of it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I look at other sports, like the MLB All-Star Game, nobody gives a shit about wins or losses. Whereas basketball, they clearly do. So I always just find that, you know, a bit fascinating. You know, what is, you know, the qualifications for a guy to be an All-Star starter and how much do you truly value, you know, leading his team to games that they win night in and night out. So speaking of wins, we're going to be winning a championship right now. So I'll just see you guys with the Finals MVP. After an unbelievably stressful first round where we came back from a 3-1 deficit, we kind of coasted for the rest of the playoffs and coasted to a championship and a LaMelo Ball Finals MVP. What a video. What a video. This one was, I wouldn't say, you know, necessarily the most... Oh, D-Lo's pissed. I wouldn't pissed off after a championship. You got to give D'Angelo Russell credit for being creative, at least. There was an interesting start to this video, right? You know, there's the majority of these, anyways. It feels like I don't get super lucky in the trade finder when we're randomly trading away everybody that is currently on the roster. And this one was fun, and I really did enjoy it. And I think obviously got super lucky with the LaMelo deal for Kawhi Leonard, and it was all really up from there. It really was. So I've enjoyed this one a lot. I've enjoyed this series a ton. Of course, we have about, I think, 6 of these left. And of course, we're going to be looking for new series ideas as well. So anything that you guys are itching to see or just really sounds like it would be a great series for me to do on a, you know, daily, weekly basis, always open to whatever it is. So let me know all that down below in the comment section. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.